Hey guys, me again, you know who I am. And today I definitely should have made this video a long time ago. In doing so, we're going to go ahead and defeat the Behemoth Juggernaut and the Jordas Golem in relatively short time. And here's what we'll need, alright? So I'll show you the build, and I'll show you Archwing build. Now, Rhino, I'm taking Rhino simply because of his iron skin. My build isn't that great. It's alright, but it's only focused on just having iron skin up and not like a super strong iron skin or whatever. It's nothing special. Alright? But what's really important here is your primary weapon. And this is super important. So I have my standard hybrid build here, and unlike other times where 100 munitions is kind of optional, against Juggernauts you need this. Now here's why. Okay, so with my Tiger's Prime, I'm using a Radiation Viral build, and I have 100% status chance here. And if I go ahead and shoot, say, a Juggernaut's back, or his sides or something like that, if I don't hit him in the face or his weak spot, it doesn't do any status at all. It almost seems like he's completely immune. And he is and he isn't. In a way, alright? But if we take the same build, now if we take a hybrid build with 100 munitions here, these are force bleed procs. So, I spawned two of them in. Spawn one of them in. So if I go ahead and hit the same spot, his back, he's bleeding, even though I don't have a 100% status chance on this at all. It's all thanks to those force bleed procs of 100 munitions. So that's why 100 munitions is needed in your shotgun builds against that Juggernaut. So yeah, even though Juggernauts are for the most part status immune if you hit them in their outer shell or whatever, 100 munitions will still bleed them regardless. So that is force bleed procs on the Juggernaut. And so that's basically insurance for if you miss his weak spot, and he doesn't have his weak spot open or shown for very long. So we're going to use 100 munitions as our insurance policy. Of course, and we have the other stuff that makes a decent hybrid build. Now, obviously, you don't need to have the prime mod. You can use a regular Ravage, and you can use prime normal point blank, and those will be fine here as well. And of course, you don't need to use the hack. You just need to use a shotgun, mainly with 100 munitions. Now, I'm using a shotgun because of its high single target damage. I mean, if you're feeling lucky, you could use a sniper rifle too, but I'm just using a shotgun because large spread means I don't have to really aim a whole lot. Now, for our Archwing choice, we're going to be using Odonata. Now, mainly for Odonata's first ability, Energy Shell. Now, what this is it's literally just Volt Shield, but instead of giving you electricity damage and the crit damage bonus, it gives you heat damage and the crit damage bonus. It's the exact same crit damage bonus as Volt Shield. So that's going to be helping our primary weapon, which is going to be the Velocitus. However, you do not need the Velocitus to do this. Now, you can do this with the regular Imperator, which is just the normal stock weapon. So this is the build I'm using for the normal Imperator. This is our damage. We have our damage on our multi-shot, and we have corrosive heat. Now we have corrosive heat as well as magazine capacity. All right. Now for corrosive cold will actually do more damage to the Jordas Golem, but I'm using corrosive heat because it's just good against everything else in Archwing for the most part. The reason I'm using magazine capacity here instead of another elemental is because Archwing weapons have enormous magazines that recharge. So, if I make that magazine even bigger, so by default, 250 in the magazine. But when I add this, that increases all the way up to 400. So it's not like a 1 or 2 round increase like it normally is on other weapons, mainly because of the huge magazine size. So 60% is a huge deal. But yeah, that's what you're going to be using on the Imperator. But if you do have the Velocitus, I urge you to put 2 Forma on here and go for our crit build. So we have damage multi-shot. We have corrosive here. We have our dual stat mod. Now you don't need this obviously because it's an event mod. It's really expensive and it's rare, but I'm just using it because I have it. Alright. We have our crit chance and our crit damage mods, as well as charge rate to make the Velocitus much faster. Now I'm going to be doing 2 runs with this. One run is going to be with the Velocitus, and another run is going to be with the regular Imperator. Now I have the Imperator Vandal, but for the most part, I'm just going to be running regular Imperator. It's not going to really make that much of a difference. The only thing is, if you have the Imperator Vandal, you want to go for a crit or a / hybrid build. So basically what you'd have on the Velocitus, except I have a lot of heat here, as well as corrosive, because I have the dual stat and the 90 and the 120% actually, as well as my crit chance crit damage, because it has a 15% critical chance by default, and we want to get the most out of that. If you don't have Shell Rush or Magma Chamber on the Velocitus, I'd highly recommend you just replace it with a cold mod, because that does like more damage to the Jordas Golem. Now for the Odonta build, now Odonta Prime has a bunch of polarities that the normal Odonta doesn't have. So I think this is actually a 3-forma build with the regular Odonta. But I have my health and my shield mods, and these are the 2 most important mods that you want to have for the boss fight anyways. These are all you need really, because you're only going to be pressing your first ability, and that's not affected by anything except for duration. And this mod, it's a rare mod, but you can get this from transmutating, and you can get it from trade chat. And I have like 80 wazillion of these. I have 5 of them, but still, I have a lot of these. I have the Odonta Augment, which lets me apply the energy shell to teammates, say if they're not using Odonta. I have ability range, which helps out the Augment as well. I have Power Max. I have efficiency, and I have power strength. And that's all I have here. I'm not running Hyperion Thrusters because this is a worthless mod in my opinion. Like, sure, it makes you go faster, but why do you need to go faster at all when you already have like afterburners? And more often than not, this mod will get you killed, so forget it. Alright, so now we're in this room where the Juggernauts... Okay. He's coming. Get into position. So when I cross this line here... Oh, there we go. So, I missed my chance to hit the weak spot, but that's kind. I can just damage him normally since we're using 100 munitions, and he's dead. You cannot stop this. Let us in. Okay, so I was going to say that if I cross that line there, that my buffs will be deactivated, and I was going to reactivate them, but I didn't get a chance to, and I had to buff up real fast and just shoot the guy. But obviously you can hit his weak spot in that instant where he shows it, because that's right as soon as he comes out of that pod, his weak spot is open to shoot. And that's when you can just one-shot him with any other shotgun normally. But I didn't have the opportunity to do that. Alright, J3 gone. What you first want to do is activate your energy shell and go ahead and just shoot him in the engines. Now I have... Now for your Arcwing, what you should have on your Arcwing is just your health and shield mods, because that'll definitely help you a lot against this fight, because he does a lot of damage and he's already dead. That was basically less than 2 minutes. And you can count in an extra minute for just the time it takes to get to the boss. But yeah, that was fairly easy. It takes a while for the mission to end, but that was about 3 minutes, 7 seconds. So now, I'm going to be using the normal Imperator. Now, in a way, you could probably also might be able to get away with running this for a hybrid as well, but it's probably unlikely that you'd probably want to do that with this gun anyways. But it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so the boss is here. When I cross the line, my buffs are going to deactivate. I'm going to go activate those. And aim. And he's dead. That's how it should have gone the last time, but oh well. Basically, I'm going to want to do the same thing here and just run to his back. And start shooting it.
Multiple targets ahead. Targets spotted. Stay sharp. This one is a handful.
Finding the fucking backdraft of his fucking engines here. I'm Just using my 4 to kill the ads. That takes a bit. Because this isn't as well modded as my other Imperator, my Imperator Vandal. Alright, I'm gonna recharge my gun here.
I see it now. You are the same. They fear themselves. Please.
But if you get pushed back beyond that point, it'll probably, if I'm not mistaken, those will probably prompt you to say, let's just extract or whatever. Because you're going basically out of mission bounds. Alright, I gotta recharge my gun a bit.
I am not the only one. They made me say that to bait you. There are so many more. Tenno, it senses you are of like flesh. It is confused. Why do you defile us?
And it's dead. Alright.
Useless hollow shells.
That took slightly more time, but not that much time. But yeah, as you can see, that all you really need is just a leveled Arcwing and a level Arcwing weapon and some mods. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.